Yesterday, a 24th woman filed a civil suit against Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson. This comes after another civil suit was filed against Watson last week. Shannon, what happens now?
I think the NFL would take this new information into consideration. I understand, I think it's yesterday or Skip, maybe the day before, a 24th victim, alleged victim came forth, and she deserves to have her testimony of the allegations that she's alleging heard with the same passion and dedication and listening ear as 1 through 5, 10 through 15. Don't just say because she's the 21st, just pass this on. No, let hers be heard. And I think this is what the NFL is up against, Skip, because as soon as they're getting ready to make a decision, here comes another drop comes out. Another lady, another person comes forward with some more testimony and said, well, let me tell you what happened to me in a very similar situation. So it's very, very difficult for the NFL to finally say, okay, this is what we're going to do. But Commissioner Goodell, this is why you make $50 million a year. You're going to be entrusted to make a very difficult decision, a very unpopular decision either way you come down.
Yep.
If you come down and you give the man 4 to 8 games, they're going to say that's not nearly enough.
Yep.
If you give him a year, people are going to say, well, the grand jury didn't even indict him. So,
and you can also say he just served a year.
He didn't get an opportunity to play.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a very, very tough situation, and there are no winners in this situation. I just hate that we are here and we're having to discuss this. I would much rather be talking about Deshaun Watson, the football player, getting ready to get hopefully help the Cleveland Browns do something positive and that they haven't done in a very, very long time, Skip. You know, win multiple playoff games, get an opportunity to contend for a Super Bowl. But yet here we are. And I think this is what we're up against, Skip. The NFL wants to make a decision. And I believe they're going to have to make a decision one way or another. Suspend Deshaun Watson for a period of time, because he's going to get suspended, Skip. I do not see a scenario in which Deshaun Watson does not miss some games. The question is how many games? The problem that he has and what the NFL has is they saw what Rob Manfred did to Trevor Bauer, who had a very similar situation. If I'm not mistaken, it was only 1, maybe 2 women. And it was you read the affidavit in the very graphic details in which he described of what transpired. And he missed, they put him on administrative leave last year. And the commissioner said, nah, that's not enough. We're not done with you. We're doing you for a whole nother year. Now he's appealing that. That's going to arbitration. And so now, and I've read what they've said, if the NFL does not give Deshaun Watson at least a year, it's saying that they don't care what women have to say. And that's what the commissioner is up against. He's up against the court of public opinion. And so, Skip, hey, you wanted this job. He said at a very young age, Skip, he wanted to be commissioner of the NFL.
Yeah.
He's the most powerful man in sports. Okay, you got to earn your money on this one. I like to be the commissioner for a day, Skip, but I don't want these kind of problems. I want to go to the meetings. I want to go sit in these boards and say, okay, y'all want to get on brand with the NFL? This is what it's going to take. I want to do that. I don't want this kind of stuff.
All the above, very well said by you. I am with you. This is extremely complex. But we do know that now 24 different women have filed civil suits, generally accusing Deshaun Watson of unwanted sexual behavior during massage sessions. And even Rusty Hardin, who's pretty hardcore when it comes to defending his clients, has relented publicly and agreed that it's a very good possibility that the NFL will make a decision, as he says, I won't like, meaning that they will suspend.
Oh, yeah, you get suspended. Nobody thought Deshaun Watson was going to skate on these, Skip. He's getting some games. Just how many?
So Rusty now says that Deshaun just completed 4 days of what he called a hell of a detailed investigation through 4 days of interviews by the NFL of Deshaun. And yet Deshaun continues to say that he has never disrespected any woman. And the female attorney, partners with Rusty Hardin, says that Deshaun did nothing wrong civilly or criminally. And obviously, as you point out, the 2 grand juries chose not to pursue, not to indict. All I know for sure is 24 is a lot.
Yeah.
And even the 24th, you read the allegations, and they are graphically detailed. And I don't want to get into them because it's not for public consumption, but if you want to go read them, go read them. It is for public consumption if you want to read it on the internet, but I want to do it here on the show.
Correct.
Just trust me, it's graphic. And yet Deshaun says in 3 of the cases, he had consensual sex with the massage therapist after the massage was over. And so it raises questions about, did Deshaun go into every one of these treating the massage therapists as if they were sex workers? And it was also reported by USA Today that he began to ask all the massage therapists to sign an NDA. What's it called? Non-disclosure agreement. Yeah. And that was just matter of course in his life, that everywhere he goes, everybody he deals with, he needs to have them sign an NDA. Then there was the matter of the $5,000 that he gave to the spa owner. And she said, well, it's just because he's a nice guy. Rusty Hardin says it's because he was helping small black businesses, especially during the pandemic. So we get both sides of that equation. And there's been suggestions that he was paying her to procure the right massage therapist. Okay, so we got all kinds of things operating. All I know for sure is when it comes to that conduct policy and violating that, I'm pretty sure the commissioner will decide that he violated that. So how far do you go past the 1 year that he has already effectively served? My best guess, it will be 8 games. And that it will not be able to be appealed. It won't stand up under appeal. It won't be reduced to 4.
I think that's the thing is, Skip. It's like, look, we give you 8 games, but you can't appeal.
Can't appeal. I agree. Would I be shocked if he went a whole nother year? I would not be shocked. But boy, it would be, it's tough to take 2 years away for this when the two grand juries chose not to indict. That's what he's got going for him on his side.
And he got Article 46 going against him too, because the commissioner can not only hear the case, but he can rule on the case. So if you try to take it to court, because how many times we've seen Zeke try to take it to a regular court, Tom Brady tried to take it to a regular court, and they kicked it right on back. Said, nah, this one.
They both they prevailed at the first level. At the first level. Tom actually prevailed in Manhattan District Court.
I think Justin Berman. I think that was Berman's court.
Judge Berman. And then it goes on to the appeals court. I think it was in Indianapolis. And they said no. And Tom was ready to take it to the Supreme Court. And here came training camp. And he finally said, I just can't do this anymore. It's getting too expensive and it's taking way too much of my time away from football. So that was as far as he went. Zeke won a first round with one judge, and then the second judge said absolutely not and kicked it right out. And he wound up serving a 6-game later in the season penalty for what he did. And in his case, as you recall, there were 2 police departments, not grand juries, but 2 police departments had investigated the same allegations by the same woman and found her not to be credible. Okay?
Keira Roberts found her not to be credible.
Not to be credible in the league office.
And she found herself without a job.
She found herself without a job. Boy, these things are tough.
They're tough.
And to your point, I agree with your conclusion. You wouldn't want to be in Goodell's shoes, but that's why he makes $50 million a year. And here we go. But I don't see how it can be any less than 8 games for Deshaun next year.
It's a very tough topic, guys. Excellent job. Important points. We'll just have to wait and see how this one plays out. We've got much more Undisputed coming up next, so keep it right here on FS1.